Miss Frederick. Booming, Henry, booming. And yours, hunting better, Frederick. It's a terrific time for trade, Henry. Getting better all the time, Frederick. Thank goodness. All this modern machinery, Henry. Here. We wouldn't get anywhere without it. And new machines being invented all the time, Henry. They're so clever. The British. You can't deny that, Frederick. Britain's our wonderful country, Henry, and it's a wonderful time for Britain, Frederick. God's being kind to us, Henry. He's on our side, Frederick. thought it was impossible for any human being to be so fooled as to allow a 9-year-old child to work 12.5 hours a day. But that is regular practice in the mills.
Mum promised me a pair of boots. I'm going to have 2 glasses of the best
best stay up. Golden days of childhood, childhood, childhood. Tender cherubs, tender cherubs, tender cherubs we. Golden days of childhood, childhood, childhood. Gentle, sweet and free, gentle, sweet and gentle, sweet and free. It's love, love, words where a delicate sight, which splendor, Lord, is our skin, oh so wise. The shores of grove and we don't see much light. Golden days, golden days, golden days, golden days. Golden days of childhood, childhood, childhood. Wondrous to recall, wondrous to recall. Golden days of childhood, childhood, childhood. Nature's angels, nature's angels, nature's angels song. With all the noisy in spite of our sight, the breeze forgive us our shouts and our cries. When our employers are backing our eyes. Golden days, golden days, golden days, golden days. Golden days of childhood, childhood, childhood. Fairy songs we sing, fairy songs we sing, fairy songs we sing. Golden days of childhood, childhood, childhood. Ring a ding a ding a ding a ding a ding a ding. This is childhood as we have been told, and quite a happy have we all been told. And 17 will be broken and old. Golden days, golden days, golden days, golden days. Not all fragile children were very poor. Some ended up to eat reasonably well, but they often had to work very long hours in terrible conditions to get their money. Mind you, many people at the time thought it was good for them. However, Michael Sadler, Member of Parliament and champion of the fragile children, soon put people with that attitude in their place. He informed people that women and children often cried at sea, but still they had to carry on working. There were some decent factory owners around, of course. They cared for their workers, especially the children. Robert Tone was one. He made sure his factory was as pleasant as possible to work in. He paid good wages. He even hired tutors to teach the children English. And let's be fair, most factories just a lot to settle their business. Buying machinery, building premises, buying stock. They had vision, those entrepreneurs, and courage. They changed the face of Britain. Not just Britain, the world. Britain.
about schools. I'm the only one who's been to a proper school. We have a tutor. It's not the same. There are four of us. It's like a school. Oh, it isn't.
Yes, it is. Anyway, all you think is your school. The pillow fight in the dormitory.
If I don't get my cocoa soon, I'll die first.
Don't be silly. You have plenty to drink with your dinner.
That was hours ago.
Half an hour inside. I want to play school. Don't shout so, Esther.
Oh, says nice children, don't shout.
He shouts at Nanny's cook.
That's different. You're supposed to shout at servants.
I don't see why.
Because they're our inferiors. That's a big word for a little boy.
I bet you don't know what it means.
Yes, I do. It's what the low classes are. What the children at the factory are. That still doesn't tell us what it means.
I told you you didn't know.
I do know. It means dirty.
That's not right. Is it so? Not really. It means they are equal. But they are as good as us.
The rich and poor all have their places. Anyone knows that.
Are we rich or poor, Prue?
You wouldn't have had all that roast beef for dinner if you were poor, you idiot.
All that handsome pie afterwards. Those children, but eat the same food as we do, Prue.
Of course they don't. They don't know the difference between good and bad food. Their parents spend all their money on beer and gin.
Why aren't we poor, Prue? Don't have stupid questions, Nathaniel.
It's because God decided we deserve to be rich. God gives you what you deserve.
But what did we do to deserve it?
This is idiotic. I'm not going to try to talk to you foolish children anymore. One of the factory workers came to see Papa yesterday. The gardener won't let him in the gate. I should think not. Heaven knows what diseases he might have brought in with him. Demanding a job in Papa's factory he was. What a cheat. Said he couldn't find any other work. And his children worked in the factory. But he couldn't live on their money. They've always got some story. He was very persistent. God was struggling to help throw them out. It was probably a pack of lies.
It must be terrible for him, though.
It must be terrible for him, though.
It was probably a pack of lies.
They're terrible lies, Esther. Pa always says that. George likes them hard about breaking the chandelier in the dining room.
That's different. You're expected to tell stories to your parents.
I think it's helpful people.
There's no point. They have to learn to help themselves.
Mama says they don't have to be so dirty and ragged.
Of course they don't. They just don't know any better.
could have explained it to them, but they didn't know. Some factories have one their factories, all the workers, just all that's the managers and overseers. The owners should have found out. A lot of overseers were very cruel. Do you know in some factories you are fined for talking or whistling or singing? We don't want to give the teachers their ideas. Some of those overseers will dream up really interesting punishments. For example, they might fasten heavy weight to you if you're not working fast enough. Not all overseers are like that. But many have to be, because the owners sack the overseers if they didn't keep production up. against the exploitation of children in factories.
Anthony Ashley Cooper, who later became Lord Shaftesbury, was a great worker in this field.
And in 1833, he was trying to get an act through Parliament which would have prevented any children under the age of 9 working in the cotton and woolen industry.
It would have limited the working hours of young people between 13 and 18 years, 10 hours each weekday and 8 hours on a Saturday.
It would have prohibited anyone under the age of 21 being employed on night work.
But there was a lot of opposition to this bill.
Many factory owners said it would seriously damage the whole cotton and woolen industry. There are over 300,000 little girls working in the mills in Lancashire alone. They're not going to let workers attack their overseers. They're right, we'll have to run. Quick, get away from here. But what about Mary? I'll have to run. Just run, get away from here.
madam. Before you might have a couple of pence on you.
That you might be taking lentils, you understand?
We haven't taken anything.
That you could steal, you mean?
Good steal, you mean? That's a harsh word to use to people who've only just become acquainted. But you tried to rob them. I suppose our approach was a little, shall we say, abrupt. Who are you, anyway?
The band of wandering minstrels.
We suddenly thinking along and thought, there's a couple of fugitives like ourselves.
They've been helping themselves to something we thought.
Perhaps they might like to share it around. We thought, we haven't taken anything. You're on the run though, that much is clear. We've got into trouble at the factory. Aha, you need say no more. Many of us were driven to retire somewhat abruptly from high-flourishing careers in the factory, so we decided to branch out on our own.
Create business for ourselves.
Business? What sort of business?
Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that. You're me.
I wish you would not insist on using such language, young lady. We're merely following the current trend of thinking. Self-help's our motto.
Got to stand on your own two feet.
What this country needs is entrepreneurs, men of action, independence. This is the age of enterprise, free from the restrictions of officials. Free enterprise! What makes this country great? Free enterprise! about the workhouse.
Oh, sure it can't be that bad. At least it's better dry.
There are a few things in life which are to be feared more than cold and hunger, and one of them is the workhouse.
Oh, regulation, sermon, eating,
and maybe work.
work.
Hey, looky! There's two lovely customers coming, all felt breeches and jangling pockets. Right, take your positions to strategy number 3. This is a game we play. Why don't you join in? Don't spoil it. It's only a bit of fun. Look out! Get it! Get away!
There were gangs like that in every big city in the early 19th century.
Some of them were orphans who had run away from the factories.
Factory owners would buy loads of children from the workhouse and apprentice them.
These so-called apprentices would often find that life in the factory was even worse than the workhouse. Having no family, they would run away.
Other members of these gangs were children who had been abandoned by their parents.
Lord Shaftesbury wanted to help these children, as well as those in the factories,
But most rich people preferred not to listen to him
until they were robbed.
when they expected the law to punish the offender severely. They just want bread, every bed, shoes and meat, occasional meat, butter and tea, perhaps a tea. A couple of oranges to cover water liberty. Oh, every letter from the working classes, when we learn to do things properly. Every letter from the working classes, when we learn to spend for property.
I think we've lost them now.
Thank you. What's the to repay you?
Hold your horses, sister dear. We don't know we're safe yet. Perhaps these two ragamuffins were just saving us for themselves. Ragamuffins? You know what Papa says about these sorts of people.
These sort of people. Look here, just because you're wearing better clothes than us, just because you're a bit posher, doesn't mean you're any better than us. We're as good as you any day.
There you are, Prue. They're getting violent now. Oh, come on, Liz.
Please don't go. Don't take any notice of them. Can't we give you something for helping us? We don't accept charity. It wouldn't be charity. We owe you something.
No thanks.
Have a sweet. Go on, please. I want you to. Have another. Another. Do sit down. I've got lots more. Where do you live? Nowhere, really.
How can you live nowhere? You've run away, haven't you? What did you do? Why did you run away? Did you murder someone? There you are. I told you so. They're murderers.
It was an accident. Shut up, Liz.
How exciting. Who did you murder? I expect they'll hang you when they catch you.
Stop it, Ben. Don't be cruel.
People like that don't worry about murder. They're doing away with each other all the time.
I'll do away with you if you don't shut up.
There you are. I told you so. Now he's trying to murder me.
Stop it, both of you. Can't you see she's upset? It was an accident.
and she did it to save me. How spiffing. It's just like a story in a book.
Be quiet. Please let us help you. We could show you somewhere to hide.
They could hide in one of Papa's barns.
Where do you live?
There. Look, that's Hadley's house. Mr. Hadley to you. He's our Papa.
Oh no, that's it.
Come on, let's go.
What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong, just don't want your help, that's all. I know what's wrong. They work at Papa's factory. There was something to do with the trouble there yesterday.
What trouble?
I don't know exactly, but I heard Bentley talking to Papa last night.
Bentley? The overseer?
That's him.
That's right. Are you sure it was him?
I couldn't mistake that ugly face.
He's alive, I'm not a murderer.
So he's the one you thought you'd killed.
He didn't move.
Well, he was alive and kicking last night. More's the pity. He's got a tip for you, though. I heard him talking about the magistrate.
Oh, please let us help you. Papa's got lots of farms. We'd be idiots to go there. Your pa's the one who's after us.
Exactly. It's the last place anyone would look.
That's true. Oh, come on, John. I'm so tired and hungry. Look, you stay here for a while. We'll go make sure the coast is clear. Get you some food.
I wouldn't mind something to eat.
Come on, Ben. We'll be back as soon as we can.
Hide if anyone comes. Right, let's get away while we've got the chance.
What do you mean? You said you wanted something to eat.
Surely you don't trust them. They'll bring Ashley back.
No, you won't. They're not like that.
You wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't trust their sort.
We've got to trust someone. We can't go on like this. With nothing to eat and nowhere to sleep.
We'll be sleeping in a prison if we trust them. Well, maybe we do have to get down from somewhere, but don't trust them. Something about the type of matter. And the to a man in the factory on her own. I don't see why they should cut our wages just because the price of cotton goes up. Because the master has to pay more for his cotton, so he ain't got enough left for us. Why doesn't he put his prices up? Because he's afraid that then it wouldn't sell so much, and the other factories cheaper. Why? The other factories have to pay for cotton as well. Oh, shut up. We're too tight to argue. I suppose masters have their problems as well. Time to get off with them. But it doesn't seem to make any difference to them, does it? Even when they're laying us off because of portrait, their wives still prancing around in their fine clothes, buying huge joints of meat at the butcher's. And they still go on seeing their children to posh schools while we have to pawn our furniture. Sweet? Hey! Look! There's a carriage! Cool! It's Paul. What's the carriage like that doing here? It's stopping! Someone's getting out! It's the king and queen! Don't be an idiot! It's all that for children. What's they doing here? They look as though they're suffering from the economic conditions. What lovely clothes and a lovely put faces. They don't look very friendly. It's because we're strangers, that's all. I'm going back to the carriage. No, you're not. We promised John and Lizzie to see their mamma. We don't know where she lives. We'll have to ask her. We're looking for Miss Fletcher. She lives over there. Thank you. Ooh, those smell nice. Lovely voices. Are you rich? How does your father expect us to live on less wages? He's been round Bradley. The Commissioner is visiting all the factory owners around here, as well as some of the workers to ask questions. Why? Something about a new law. I hope it does some good. Well, Mrs. Fletcher, you'd better go back before the car misses us. Thank you both for bringing me the good news. Please take this, Mrs. Fletcher. No, thank you, Master Bradley. Please, buy something for Mary. It's very kind of you. And don't worry, we'll find some ways to bring John and things. Thank you, Ben. I never realised how filthy their houses were. The smell was unbearable. It's not their fault. The sewage seeps up through the floors. Do you think Pa's ever been here to see how his factory children live? I doubt it. He'd rather not know. It's not fair, is it? We live in that big house with grass and servants. I didn't realise how bad things were for them. About factory children did grow. Factory commissioners were sent to all the factory districts. They were very disturbed by what they found. The children were so tired they could hardly stand, yet they still had to work 12 hours a day. There's nothing else to do. Liz, wake up. Did you go and see more? Yeah, and she's all right. Your father's got a job. Where? On a farm. Down there. Is he like better? Not yet. Broken bones don't mend that quickly. Let's peel it straight. And Charlie and Dip, as bright as buttons. Now come on, you must eat this food. We've got something special on the menu today. Cold roast duck. Roast potatoes and broccoli. Followed by plum pudding and custard. We'll never eat all that. Don't worry, we'll help you. How did you manage to get all this without being seen? We told Cook. Mama wanted to see her in the drawing room. That gave us plenty of time. Mama's lying down, and Papa has gone to the factory with the factory commissioner. The what? Of course, you don't know, do you? He's been sent by the government to inspect the factory. He's already talked to your Mama. That lot of bug that'll do over there. Lord never else thought. Don't be so dismal, John. If you're all trying to improve things, I believe that when I see it. Pa seems very worried about it. That's a good sign, John. I'm not prepared to get angry sometimes. I never really realised how bad things were for you till I saw your house last night. What's wrong with our house? It's a little... Go on, say it. Go on. Dirty and smelly. They didn't mean to be rude, John. We just thought I'd bear it well. Us having so much, and you so little. Sorrow. I don't care how poor it is. How small and dark, how cold and damp, it's own, isn't it, Liz? Of course it is. I'm sure Ben can understand. So this is where you've been bringing my food? Only a little bit, cook. And who are these filthy urchins? Runaways from the workhouse? No doubt. No, they're not. They're friends of ours. Friends, indeed. Soon you'll be telling us all the thieves and robbers in England are your friends. You don't understand. Quite right, I don't understand. I don't understand how now well-brought-up children like you are associating with the likes of them, especially after what your papa has told you. Come on, Jenkins, you grab the boy over there, and I'll get the girl. We'll soon see what the master has to say about this. Please don't tell Papa. The Factory Commissioners did a good job, and the Factory Act was passed by Parliament in 1833. The Act didn't do everything that was necessary, though, but it went a long way towards it. It prohibited the employment of children under the age of 9. Hooray! It limits the working hours of children under the age of 13 to 48 hours a week. Hooray! It says that during these working hours, all children are to attend school for not less than 2 hours a day. Oh no! It has appointed factory inspectors to make sure the factory owners obey these rules. Hooray! A real start would be made, and reforms followed thick and fast after that. Want you to escape. Where's your dad then? What's he going to do with us? It's all right. You're not going to be punished after all. What do you mean? We'd already explained it to the boss. The commissioner had already told him. So the boy dismissed Bentley. What do you mean by dismissed? Taking his job away. Sent him out of the factory. The children told the commissioner all about it. Can't believe it. It's true. You're free to go back. Here's our car now. You should have done something long ago. I didn't know what was going on. I rarely go to the factory. You must have heard things. You can't always believe what you hear. As long as the profits kept rolling in, you didn't bother. I just didn't realise at the time, but changes have to be made. We must look after our nation's children. We must
thank you from the factory children. Thanks very much, Ian. Lovely. Well, you leave me very, very little to say, because you have thanked all those people who have helped, and it's been a great team effort. It's not been a them and us, it's been a one, because you have worked exceptionally hard, and the teachers have worked exceptionally hard, and that's resulted in a fine production. Absolutely super. Congratulations. Leave us on Thursday of next week, and some of them have been with us for 7 years. 31 of them, they move on to 9 different schools. We wish you every happiness and every success in your new school, and with the talented on that stage, every one of those 9 schools will be delighted to have you, because our loss will be their gain. Thank you. And don't forget, thank you to the children in Mrs. Callahan's class and Mrs. I think you'll manage one more song for us, will you? I'm sure you will. Right.
This one included different words. Sorry, by Christopher Allen and David Kerrigan. So we've got budding songwriters as well.
Every night,